Would you like to know how to answer a yes-no question in a way that helps your client get the results that they desire? Then stay tuned for this 3-card reading. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot 1 card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card spread to figure out if a woman will pass her road test so that she can get her driver's license. I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. This question was posted anonymously in a Facebook group by a woman who I will call Danielle. Danielle is a woman in her mid-30s who has ADHD. She said that she struggles to learn new things. Danielle has summoned her courage and has begun to take driving lessons. She wants to know if she will eventually pass her road test. Although Danielle didn't specify she was using a spread, I will be using the Strengths, Weaknesses, Outcome spread. Danielle drew 3 cards. In the Strengths position, she drew the Magician. In the Weaknesses position, she drew Judgment reversed. And in the Final and Outcome position, Danielle drew the Ace of Swords. This was a yes-no question, so I'm going to go straight to the Outcome card, which is the Ace of Swords. The Suit of Swords represents Danielle's intellect, thoughts, and decision-making as she prepares for her driver's test. Aces are about new beginnings, which are a gift from Spirit. So I can confidently say that all of Danielle's intellectual efforts will pay off, and despite her challenges learning new things, she will eventually pass her driving test and move on to a new phase in her life. I wanted this video to be more than 30 seconds long, so I'm going to go back and look at the first 2 cards. And hopefully I can give Danielle some more information that will help her make preparing for her driving test a little easier. The first card is the Magician, and it represents Danielle's strengths. This is an awesome card because the Magician is about using your abilities to make the things you want to happen become real. Here we see the Magician standing with right hand pointing towards the heavens and his left hand pointing toward the ground. He's acting like a lightning rod to bring the spiritual energy down to earth. He translates his thoughts from wishes from Spirit to actually happening on earth. This is a very positive sign that Danielle's wish to pass her driving test will come true, because she is able to make her wishes come true. We also see an infinity sign above the Magician's head called a lemniscate. This means infinite potential. The white robe symbolizes new beginnings and pure intentions. All of these things represent great strengths and abilities that Danielle can apply to passing her driving test. The white headband covers the Magician's 3rd eye, which indicates his ability to direct his visions and focus. I find this fascinating as Danielle mentions that she has ADHD, which makes focusing difficult. This card is in the Strength position, so even though she considers her ADHD to be a liability, it is actually a strength. So how do we interpret ADHD as an advantage in passing a road test? Of course, I had to do some research, and there are actually some advantages to having ADHD. People with ADHD can be excellent out-of-the-box thinkers, which can be an advantage if they run into unexpected situations while they are driving. They also tend to have high levels of alertness, and this constant vigilance gives them the ability to process information more quickly and be more sensitive to their surroundings. That is a big plus when you're driving, especially now that people don't look up from their phones while they're walking into traffic. So I think that it's important for Danielle to reframe some of her concern over having ADHD into strengths. I think another strength is that Danielle has developed many tools and strategies that will make learning to drive much easier in her mid-30s than it would have been when she was 16. Look at the Magician's table. We see all 4 elements: cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. Clearly, Danielle has learned how to use tools to help her be successful in spite of her ADHD. Finally, the background of this card is sunny and yellow. To me, this indicates that Danielle has a positive attitude that will serve her well. In summary, the Magician card points to Danielle as having many strengths that will make it possible for her to pass her road test. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It is free for you, and it will help me grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. The middle card represents Danielle's weaknesses, and she pulled the Judgment card. It's interesting that the first two cards in this spread are Major Arcana cards, and we move from the second card in the Major Arcana to the second last card in the Major Arcana. I think that passing her driving test will be a big leap forward for Danielle, and that she will stop believing that her ADHD needs to hold her back. In the upright position, the Judgment card is about fresh starts, reawakening, and realizing your potential. You are likely at a crossroads that requires some kind of self-reflection or a decision. You have reached the final point in a journey. This would have been a great card for Danielle, although in the weakness position, it wouldn't have been much of a weakness. But we get a different story when Judgment is reversed. And these are all potentially big problems for Danielle when she thinks about passing her driving test. Some of the meanings of Judgment reversed include: you are judging yourself too harshly, you are letting your fear hold you back, you are not heeding the call to change your life, you are clinging to the past and have retreated back into your own limitations, or you are experiencing shame, self-doubt, or difficulty making decisions. Note that all of these weaknesses are mindset related. As we learned in The Magician, Danielle has the ability to turn her thoughts into reality. These are not the kind of thoughts that she wants to turn into reality, and she shouldn't be focusing on them. I'm guessing by her question, where she tells us that she is afraid of failing due to her ADHD and has difficulty learning things, that Danielle has many years of practice thinking she is going to fail. However, once she is aware that she's focusing on thoughts that can hold her back, she'll be able to turn this around and conquer this obstacle. Let's go back to the Ace of Swords in the final outcome position and see what else we can glean from this card, other than it indicates that Danielle will successfully pass her test. In this case, Spirit is giving Danielle the message of a clear, logical thought. The steel of the blade is a cold blue color, which indicates that swords are only interested in the cold, unyielding facts. The sword allows Danielle to be objective and cut through any confusion so that she can see the truth. Swords are associated with mental sharpness, clear thinking, and communication. This is really good news for Danielle for several reasons. Passing your road test is a pretty factual experience. I recall doing this myself and have been through it with both of my kids. The person conducting the road test isn't interested in whether you're a good human being or can make witty conversation. They have a checklist of things you need to do, such as parallel park without driving over the curb and putting on your signal when you're going to change lanes. The Ace of Swords tells Danielle that she needs to focus on the factual aspect of the road test and not worry about anything else. The sword also means that Danielle has the ability to cut away thoughts and beliefs that are no longer needed in her life. That includes all of the negative beliefs from the previous card. This reinforced what we talked about in Judgment. On the top of the sword, we see a crown. Crowns were worn by people in authority and symbolize their ability to think clearly and take decisive action. The top of the crown is open and symbolizes a connection with Spirit. This reinforces the message that in addition to Danielle having the ability to think clearly, she should also focus on connecting with Spirit. Prior to the test, I would advise Danielle to take some time to engage in whatever version of prayer works for her and connect with Spirit. On the top of the crown, we see an olive branch on the left and a palm branch on the right. Both of these symbolize victory. This is another strong indication that Danielle will pass her driver's test. Palm trees are also known for being very resilient and able to thrive in challenging environments such as hurricanes because, unlike most trees, they are able to sway and bend during high winds. So this is a message to Danielle that, even if she's unsure of herself and something happens in the road test that challenges her, she needs to trust herself and she will make it through. Underneath Spirit's hand, we see rocky mountains that are blue and purple in color. Mountains are about challenges. Blue represents clear thinking, inner wisdom, and calmness. Purple represents spirituality. We can deduce that Danielle will make it through these challenges if she remains calm, trusts herself, and stays connected with Spirit. So let's summarize. This reading answered Danielle's question about whether she would pass her driving test. In this case, I started with the third card, the Ace of Swords, and determined that she would pass her road test and get her driver's license. Then I moved back to the first card, the Magician, which represents Danielle's strengths to manifest what she wants and make her wishes come true. We learned that Danielle had developed many strengths and strategies in order to manage her ADHD. We also learned several ways that having ADHD can be advantageous when driving. The middle card, Judgment in the reverse position, represented Danielle's weaknesses, and these were all thoughts about her limitations. The Ace of Swords in the final outcome position further indicated that Danielle will successfully pass her test. In this case, Spirit is giving Danielle the gift of mental sharpness and clear thinking. Not only will this help her focus on the facts of her driving test, it gives her the ability to cut away negative thoughts and beliefs, like the ones from Judgment Reversed, that are no longer needed in her life. The palm and olive branches both symbolize victory. And although the mountains indicate challenges, this card tells us that Danielle will make it through these challenges if she remains calm, trusts herself, and stays connected with Spirit. I hope this video gave you some ideas about how to conduct a yes-no reading by providing additional details that will be helpful to the querent. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you learned. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.